Hello, everyone. Well, this is an introduction to the topography in Revit 24. We don't have topography anymore. Well, we do have topography, but the default option is what they call Toposolid. So the Toposolid, it's like another family. It's like a wall, it's like a floor or a roof. So if we click on Toposolid, you see that we can edit the type. And if we can edit the type, we can edit the structure. So by default, we have a finish, which is grass. We have a substrate, gravel, and then we have the structure that it's earth. Okay, so those are the different layers that we have here. We have by default 6 inches, 6 inches, and 4 inches. We can make this much thicker. Imagine 30 feet. We click OK, apply, and when we do this and click finish, what happens on the 3D view? So on the 3D view, this is what happens. We have a thick element, a 30-foot thick element. If we go to edit type and you want to edit the structure again, instead of 30 feet, you can type 10, click OK, and you see that that this changes. Yep. Well, so this is like a family. It's like a floor, it's like a wall, it's like a roof. We can edit type and we can control the layers, the materials, and we can control the thickness. Now, we have to edit this because this is like a flat top surface. And if we want to edit this, we can modify sub-elements. And you see that here we have like 4 different points or different lines. If we select this line, we can move it up or down, doesn't matter. And then we have to enter or click here, modify, and this is what happens. We have a slope with these contour lines. If this slope is limited by straight lines, those contour lines are parallel. Well, probably you don't have this by default. We can control the appearance of the contour lines. And how can we do that? We can do that in visibility graphics. In visibility graphics, there is a category, the Toposolid. And you see that here we have primary contour lines and secondary contour lines. By default, if you click primary contour, I think by default we have here no override. Okay, we apply this and all the lines are the same. If I want the difference between the main lines and the secondary lines, I can do that. So I can go to visibility graphics, topography, no, Toposolid. It's not topography, it's Toposolid. And here we have the primary contour lines. I'm going to change the weight to 5. And now we don't see the difference. Go to visibility graphics again. Toposolid, primary contour lines, thicker. Okay, so now we can see the difference between the primary and the secondary contour lines and how we can decide what the primary contour lines and what the secondary contour lines are. Well, here we have to edit type. If we want to edit type, here I can select the contour display. If I edit this, so by default, we have the primary contour lines every 5 feet and secondary contour lines every foot. I can change that. Imagine that I want more contour lines. So I can type here 1 foot and I can type here like 1 inch. So with this option, we would have a lot of contour lines. We have too many. Okay, so we have every foot, we have a main contour line, and then we have every inch, we have a secondary contour line. Well, it doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to select edit type, and then the contour display I think, well, I can make it this 10, and the other contour lines, the secondary one can be 1 foot. I apply, and that looks different, okay? Before it was every 5 feet, now it's every 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. Okay, so that's it. If we, well, that's it. This is the first thing we can do. Now we can modify everything. So we can modify this sub element. We can edit the sketch. If we edit the sketch, we can edit this. If I delete this and I create a spline, for example, I can do something more natural, more organic. And now I do this, and I have changed it doesn't change the slope, but it changes the shape of the contour lines. If I modify sub-elements, I can change the level of this point. Imagine that this is 35. And I click on modify again, and now it has changed again. Now the slope is not a simple slope. It has like two different slopes in two directions. And I can edit everything. If I can edit the sketch, and I want another spline here, change the shape. Okay. So, well, it didn't like it. Can I modify the elements now? Yes, I can. And now I'm doing something like this. Will it work? Yes, now it works. Okay, so we have a lot of control over this. If we just select the beginning and the end with splines, then we can, and by changing the elevation of these points, now I can change a lot of things.